driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Mr. Kisser Lover, do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the time we first met, girl? Do you remember the time? Till I tick-tock, it don't stop until I wanna sex you up. Tick-tock, it don't stop. All night, tick-tock, it don't stop. So good. I'm looking for real love.
I think it might have would have helped if I was up on the screen and not backstage like I was. Hey y'all, it's been a few years since I went live. I think. So I usually go live on my podcast channel with my partner, and we're on the schedule, and we missed this past week, and I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody watches us, but views are kind of low. But I just wanted to come on my own channel and talk about some shit myself because I just I gotta get this shit off my chest. I gotta get this shit off my big old chest. And I'm trying to pull my channel. I don't know why I can't pull my own fucking videos up on my up on the TV. So just give me a moment and we'll get started. What I wanted to talk about is this this bum who and you know it's not the first bum that we've come across that has done shit like this, because this is a a thing that has been happening, but the state laws and just in different states just they don't take it seriously. I guess it's not being taken seriously. I guess not. Okay, there we go. I got my channel up. Now let me see how bright screen is, because I've been it says I have one viewer and it's me. I've been trying to edit this intro video and these pictures in my background to where it looked dark on my screen, like it looked a few shades darker, but let me just see how this looks on the TV. There we go. Now that looks perfect on TV. That looks perfect on TV. So let's talk about this this bitch, because I'm about to share my screen. And I feel so bad for this lady, because I know how it feels to have someone in your house that you want to get the fuck out. But this woman bought a property. She spent her money on property. Do you know how expensive it is to buy property and have a motherfucker moving into your property, and then they won't leave, and doing it under the guise of an Airbnb? Yeah. So just this little whore right here, this bitch right here. Her name is Shadija Romero. She is a professional squatter. Professional squatters, they're either homeless, or they'll move in to an apartment that they've either rented on their own, Or we can get into this later, use the CPN. Now, what a CPN is, a credit privacy number. It they say it's illegal. Wait, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I know it's illegal. Like it's fraud. I feel like what makes it fraud is for other people to be using either a dead person's or someone in prison who isn't renting an apartment, or just a social security number that isn't used. That's really what it is. And there are websites where you can buy CPNs and set it up and have your information. I don't know how these fucking scammers do it. And I have a video coming up about how I was scammed, because I was in the process of getting one myself until I actually got my place under my name. But someone took my money. Anyway, there are ways you can get into an apartment. But what this bitch did, she got into her apartment. No, she got into the apartment before she got into the Airbnb. I guess it was under her information. It wasn't under a CPN. It was up under her information, under her social. And here's the thing. She has different aliases. So I feel like she's used to CPN before. That's why she has so many evictions up under her name. And that's how you do it. Now, you can get a CPN with your name on it. It may not be your social. So when the leasing office runs your credit under that CPN, either there's no information that comes up because it's just blank, or you can pay extra to have like a credit line or something just to give the CPN a boost. So they could be like, oh, there's something on the credit, but it's not an apartment. It's not an eviction. That's what I feel like she's done before. So she's had apartments in her name. That's why when the news looked her funky ass up, they saw her name come up multiple times. So I doubt that she has evictions, recent evictions in her name. Because what people do is they go through the CPN route because they have evictions and they can't get an apartment any other type of way. And the qualifications to get into an apartment, at least in the state of North Carolina, where I'm at right now, you have to make 3 times the rent. You have to have a certain credit score. When I got into my apartment, I still do make 3 times the rent, but gross, not net. But because I have previous, maybe like 2 evictions or whatever, that's beside the point. Because I have an eviction on my credit, I had to pay an extra month's rent. So you don't have to be out here scamming to get into an apartment. Just to get into an apartment. Now, once you do get into your apartment, pay your fucking rent. And she lied to this lady. What's her name? I forgot her name. What's her name? Roshan Douglas. Miss Douglas. She lied to Miss Douglas saying, oh, my house burnt down and I'm going to rent your Airbnb out for a month, 30 something days. When really her house didn't burn down. She was being evicted. She was in the process of getting evicted with the sheriff there when she was booking the Airbnb. Moved into this lady's house, paid for that 1 month, and said, fuck it, I'm going to squat. That really grinds my gears. And then she has a daughter. She has her child doing this. So while she was living in this lady's home, you know what? Let's pull her up on YouTube, because while she was in this lady's home, this bitch is going on vacation. You can go on vacation. You can go on vacation. You can go out of town and shake your ass, but you can't pay this lady's rent or not even her rent. It's an Airbnb. I understand people live in Airbnbs, but people actually pay to live in Airbnbs. Get the fuck out. You're not fuck out, but you going out of town and shit. And she has the nerve to have a fucking uh a so-called nonprofit. I don't know what her nonprofit is for. We can go on the website because they have a whole Reddit thread about this bitch. Look at her. Let me share this tab. Multiple eviction cases. Multiple.
New tonight, another twist in a bizarre Airbnb battle. 7 News has exclusively told you about a homeowner in Northeast DC who says a squatter has taken over her short-term rental. But that alleged squatter claims she's a tenant with rights. All new at 6 o'clock. Our Felicia Ashley is learning this isn't the first time the so-called unwanted guest has refused to leave a property.
I found court records revealing that Romero stayed in multiple properties in and around D.C. rent-free for months while they went through the eviction process.
Court records show at your previous apartment, you were also getting evicted for not paying rent. And
so that wasn't for that place. It was for a previous place where something happened during COVID when everyone was not receiving payment. I'm an entrepreneur and I also have a
Court records show Shadija Romero faced eviction.
Let's pause it right there. If you're an entrepreneuress, you call yourself an entrepreneuress, you're not making no money to pay your fucking bills. You call yourself an entrepreneur. The only way you can really do that, I feel, is if you're turning a profit. She didn't say what her business was. She didn't say where her nonprofit was. Her nonprofit has a website. We can look that up too because I found that shit too. She didn't say what her business was. So I don't see how she's an entrepreneur. And what she was doing was during COVID is she was using, because remember during COVID when, people were out of jobs, people were sick, right when COVID started, there was a, how do I pronounce it? What was the momentarium during COVID when people didn't have to pay their rent? When people became behind on rent, so millions lost their jobs at the start of the COVID pandemic. What was it called? Oh, now I have it. It was the order that covers virtually all rental properties, including single-family homes, mobile homes, and apartments. It was an order that banned landlords from evicting tenants for non-payment of rent through the end of 2020 if the tenants have submitted the CDC's declaration to their landlord. So it was the CDC eviction moratorium. That's how she got what she's talking about, because I feel like she's done it many times after COVID. Mind you, COVID was what, 2020? Bitch, it's 2025. I'm pretty sure you've done it a few times since 2000. If they submitted that in when did COVID start? March 2020 up until the end of 2020. December, maybe into 2021. I guess that's when it ended. I can't remember. So she went all those months without paying rent because she felt like she didn't have to, just like she felt like she doesn't have to pay this lady for her Airbnb. So she got a little bit of leeway there. But after that, you have to pay. You have to pay that balance. You have to pay that balance. So a lot of people weren't paying their rent, or they moved out and just left their balance in the hanging. And I feel like that's what she's done. So let's get back to the next lie.
From 2 other DC properties before booking Roshane Douglas's Airbnb nearly a year ago. I reviewed the records with real estate attorney Rich Bianco.
Scrolling down the docket here, she knows what she's doing. So this isn't the first rodeo.
Court records show that in October 2021, she had a year lease at the Jameson at Dakota Apartments. Those owners also filed a suit against Romero. It shows she stayed months past the end of her lease and did not pay anything between May 2022 and January 2023. She also signed a legal agreement to pay the Jameson $35,000 in back rent, but she did not follow through with that agreement. She was officially evicted 8 months after she stopped paying.
I did not go to court for eviction for Ava Noma.
5 days after she was evicted from the Jameson, records show she moved into Ava Noma. She paid 1 month's rent and owes them nearly $50,000. The property tried to evict her multiple times, but there was a fire, which I confirmed with DC Fire and EMS started in her unit while she was there.
Ava Noma is the one showing that you were in the process.
Okay. I feel like she's been using the CPNs because ain't no fucking way. At least we can't talk about where I'm at because I'm in a whole different state. But how do leasing offices check your social? Oh, and it's not just the CPN that I feel like she's been using. You can get pay stubs made, honey. You do have to make 3 times the rent, but you don't have to make 3 times the rent because you can get pay stubs made. I feel like she's been using CPNs and she's been getting pay stubs made to move in these apartments. Oh, she's a CPN queen. I can smell it on her. To get in these apartments and just stay and then rack up back rent. And here's the thing. She's racking up the back rent not up under her social. It's not up under her information. She's using the CPNs. So really, that's what they really need to be looking into. That's what they need to be looking into. If she's committing fraud. She's obviously committing fraud, but through the CPN network. That's what they need to be looking into. Whew, this shit is deep. She's done this a few times since COVID. So whatever apartment she was in during COVID, she got by the moratorium, and then she just started moving in to these fucking apartments. So yeah, she was getting her shit ready to pay like 1 month. You paid again the first and last month's rent or whatever, and then she just squats. Wow, she's professional.
Process of being evicted for paying 1 month's rent when you were there for 13.
So no, that would not be accurate.
Again, court documents show Romero filed a motion to delay the eviction, this time citing the fire and saying insurance needed to see the damage in the...
I feel like she may have started that fire just to delay the eviction, but let's go ahead.
Unit. She booked the Airbnb as she was getting evicted from that property. I found multiple tenant and landlord cases against her in and around DC when she went by a different name at the time. In addition to that, I saw at least a dozen liens against her, as well as a case claiming that she paid for a down payment for a vehicle and made no other payments after that. Now, since these discoveries, Romero has said that she is not speaking to us anymore. For now, reporting from the DC Bureau, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
She just had to put that in there. She just had to put that shit in there. But yeah, that's what she's doing. That's what she's been doing. I'm confident that's what she's been doing. And then not just putting the CPN up under your name. You could put it up under another name. You could put a CPN up under another name. You can, when you get your name made, you can put a different name on there. It can be at the job that you already work. All you have to do is just doctor the numbers. All you have to do is doctor the numbers to make it to look like you make 3 or 4 times the rent. That's what she's been doing. I guarantee it. That's what she's been doing. That's what she's been doing. And then I've seen, a few of my homegirls, get by, because when you go and pick up your keys for the apartment, everything is done online now. Mind you, this is how you get by. So when you go, okay, so let's backtrack. The people who make the CPN packages, one particular person that I used years ago, they made CPNs, they made the pay stubs for you. They made a photocopy of a social, because when you lease online in an apartment or a leasing office, you have to upload all of these documents. The photocopy of the social and a photocopy of an ID, the state ID or a driver's license. So, with the photocopy of the stuff being uploaded onto the website, they already have it. So, when you go and pick up your keys, they already have it. They already know what you look like because they look at your picture of what you uploaded. And the pay stubs go through the system. Now, what's this new system called? Pay stub. These leasing offices are getting a little bit wise, and they're asking you to upload your pay stubs up onto this website. What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? What's it called? Give me a moment. It's because I had snapped. I'm sorry for yelling. Snapped. Because I had to do it when I moved into my place. But here's the thing about Snapped. Here's the thing about Snapped. When I was applying to my apartment, Snapped, because I have real pay stubs, like I have a legitimate job. I'm not faking it till I make it. I have a legitimate job that I can actually, pay to live on my own. Snapped, it does. You can upload your real stuff to Snapped, but Snapped, it's AI. So I'm uploading everything from my job to Snapped, and it's still saying that it was fake or it won't accept it. And I had to email everything to the leasing manager, and then she had to call my company to make sure I was who I said I was and I made what I made. That's the only reason I was able to get past Snapped. But a lot of these apartment complexes and leasing offices are using Snap to detect fake pay stubs. Now, I don't know how they're going to get past the CPNs. If you have a blank CPN with no credit history on it, they may deny you because of the non-credit history. They may deny you because of the non-credit history. Because I mean, like, there's nothing on it. So yeah, I feel like she's been finessing. Miss Romero has been finessing the system for some years. For some years, she said, "Oh, I can get into an apartment without, using my actual information, and then I can make some fake pay stubs." And yeah, it's motherfuckers out here that do that. It's real out here. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand, when people have evictions and they really want a place to live and they're willing to pay, I understand why they would go that route. And that's how I fucked up. I don't want to talk to Snapped. And that's how I ended up getting, caught up and, I ended up getting scammed out of my money. And it took me a little bit of time to find an apartment complex that was willing to take my credit history. I had to pay a little bit more, but there are places out here that will rent to you. So instead of her doing that and getting an actual job and paying rent every month, she decided to ditch the whole apartment CPN and just move into this lady's house, which is crazy. Oh, I feel so bad for this lady right here.
In this story you'll only see on 7 News, we're digging into D.C. law, finding out there's not much that homeowner can do. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley spoke with the homeowner and tried to speak with the alleged squatter.
The alleged squatter originally got into the home through Airbnb, claiming that her apartment caught fire and it needed time to get repairs. Now that was February. Roshane Douglas says she didn't know she was opening her life up to a nightmare when she accepted Shadija Romero's Airbnb reservation almost 10 months ago. That reservation ended March 29th after 32 days, and Romero hasn't paid another dime. But living in the home for over a month apparently lets her claim some form of tenant rights, and she refuses to let Roshane enter the property.
I never gave her any tenancy. I never gave her a lease.
Roshane tried everything, gave her a 30-day notice to vacate, called police, went to court, and even offered Romero $2,500 to sign a paper admitting she's not a tenant and to get out. Romero signed the document, but didn't budge.
November the 15th came and she told me, this no longer works for me. Do what you have to do. I'm not leaving. I went to the police with my order and they said there's nothing that they can do, that I need to go to court, which I've done and I do not have it.
Roshane put this sign up on her home so police and the neighbors would know Romero was not authorized to be there. A sign Romero covered with a sheet.
I need police assistance.
I was there when police helped Roshane cut it down, while Romero hid inside.
It's shocking to me that you would abuse a system like that.
While all this is...
Why you hiding, bitch? What the fuck you hiding? You can go on the news and sit down at a spot, but you won't bring your ass outside? Come outside. Come the fuck outside. You think you can stay there without paying no fucking bills, bitch? Come the fuck outside. You're not about to squat up in my shit. You know what? Miss Douglas is better than I am, because I would have had that shit burnt the fuck down. I would have shot that shit up. I would have had some crackheads run up in there. Oh, her ass would have been ran through fucking with me. She's doing this the legal way. But now I know some niggas that'll do shit the street justice way. You don't do shit like this to people. Anyway, let me stop.
What is going on? Romero's social media shows her living her best life on trips and promoting her nonprofit. And Roshane is left paying thousands in attorney fees, the mortgage, and utilities for a home she can't even enter. I tried to get some answers from Romero, who was clearly inside the home, but she never came to the door. When a person walked out to her car, they didn't want to talk to us either. Roshane is waiting now for her court date next week, where she's hoping the judge's decision,
which is today, in a matter of hours. Today is December 11th. It's after 3 a.m. So I'm going to be coming back to see what happens with this. Actually, let's see, because we can get a little bit closer update.
Will allow U.S. Marshals to force her unwanted guests out once and for all. For now, reporting from Northeast D.C., Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
7 News has been reporting on reforms to rental housing laws in the district. Back in September, City Council passed the Rental Act. Supporters of the legislation say D.C. landlords lost more than $1 billion in unpaid rent since eviction moratoriums were lifted in 2021. The measure simplifies the eviction process and allowed landlords to remove tenants who violate their leases by not paying rent. Those against the act say it takes away protections for tenants. Our investigative reporter John Barr has been following the Rental Act. You could read what's in that measure right now on WJLA.com. New at 6 and only on 7 News. We are now hearing from the woman accused of taking over an Airbnb in Northeast D.C. The homeowner reached out to 7 on Your Side for help after that woman refused to leave. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley is now live outside the home. Felicia, you have a lot of updates on this case.
A lot, and it all happened as we were out here working on this story. First, you can see the homeowner was able to board up the home, but the guest was able to get back in. In addition to that, though, I was able to speak with the person the homeowner is accusing of squatting in her home. She stopped us as we were outside doing the story and invited us in.
The police allowed her to hire a locksmith and break in. She gave them no documents. She gave them no court orders. She gave them no lease. She just came and said,
wait a minute, how did they let her do that? So they let her break in without her giving any proof, like, hey, here's my ID with the address on it. I live here. Without no mail. Well, I'm pretty sure she got mail. But they just let her hire a locksmith to get in a house that's not hers. And that's the thing. That's the thing with the police. They can't get in the middle of civil matters. They can't get in the middle of civil matters. So, of course, they're going to tell the homeowner, take her to court.
I'm locked out. This is taking me somewhere where I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to stay on the right, but for somebody to just take and take and do
She's
and
taking
do,
it
everybody has
there.
a breaking point.
I went back to the property today and saw child services show up because Shadija brought her daughter into the home while there was no power or electricity inside. Police also showed up because the homeowner's truck went missing after Shadija got back in the house. And when Shadija cracked the door open to get a package, I saw what appears to be a candles and essential oils business inside.
This is unbelievable.
That led to a virtual emergency hearing today. In court, it was revealed that Shadija tried to push Roshane off a ladder, took the utilities out of the homeowner's name and put it in her daughter's name, tampered with cameras, requested that Roshane pay.
Oh, that is so ghetto. That is so ghetto. You put the lights and the water in the baby's name. The baby don't even look like she's over the age of 10, but the bitch got lights in her name. And she fucking with her Ring cameras. Don't touch my shit.
Pay her back for the food lost when the power was turned off. Oh, and she asked the judge if she could question Roshane as a hostile witness. I was with Roshane as she attended the hearing from her car outside the home.
And the sad part is, I feel sorry for her. I really do. But your problem is, I can't help you. But I do truly feel sorry for her.
So you have a daughter. You're obviously homeless. You got some itchy skin oil business running out that motherfucker with no lights and no heat. You got candles, so something knocked the fuck over and the shit blow up. And that's something else that the homeowner got to pay for. And I hope she has insurance. I know she has insurance because if anything happens, insurance will cover it. But because of this court case shit, you know how insurance companies are. They don't want to pay anything out.
And her child and all of this. And I have a big heart, and this is the outcome of me having a big heart. But I really hope somebody can.
That's her car? Oh, that's her car? Oh, she got money. And that's the thing. People think that because you live well, you work hard, you make your fucking stacks, you make money, you buy properties or rent them out and shit, that they could just use you or ask you for whatever. And, oh, hey, can I stay in your property? Hell no, hell fucking no. Don't think because I work for my shit that you could just abuse and use me for my shit.
I can help her, but you can't do it at my expense. I don't have it.
Exactly. Bitch, I ain't got it.
If the judge doesn't give me some release, I'm going to lose my property because I can't pay $4,000 a month and my other bills and my responsibilities like this.
That part.
There's no recourse for me.
Just moments ago, as we were working on this live shot and this report, Shadija came up to our car and said that we speak to her. This is what she had to say, or part of what she had to say during our 15-minute conversation.
She said that we didn't have a lease, which we do not have a lease in place, but we did have an agreement for me to stay at the property.
And that's another motherfucking thing, a verbal agreement. Apparently that counts as a lease in some states, a verbal agreement.
Beyond the initial Airbnb time frame. So she's been back to the property almost every day. They installed signs.
Yeah.
Now, coming up what happened today is that there was an emergency hearing because of everything that unfolded. In that hearing, the judge did tell Roshane she has to turn back on the electricity. Now, there is another hearing next week where the judge will decide whether Shadija can stay or if she has to go. Now, reporting live from Northeast DC, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
Today.
And Felicia will have more on this story online, WJLA.com.
What a story.
All right, Tom. Well, only on 7 News. It's a bizarre dispute between two women involving an Airbnb property in the district. The owner claims a squatter is refusing to leave and locked her out. We spoke with the owner on Wednesday.
All of the responsibilities are on me and I can't get into my property. There's a leak in the property. The water bill is escalating. I can't get in there to see what's going on.
Our Felicia Ashley also spoke with the alleged squatter. Felicia is now joining us live. Felicia, this story just unravels to get more and more interesting. What can you tell us about what the alleged squatter has to say?
Right. Well, I spoke with her and she maintains the fact that she says she is a tenant. And she says after her 30-day Airbnb stay got extended, she says she fell in hard times, some unfortunate situations, said she lost a lot of money. And that's why she couldn't leave at the set date that she had with the homeowners. I sat down with an emotional Shadija Romero inside Rochelle Douglas's home.
Did you book the Airbnb?
How come she didn't express that? She probably told that lady to fuck off. She probably said, fuck you, I ain't paying no goddamn money.
Be with the intention of staying?
No, I did not book the Airbnb with the intent of staying.
So why are you still here?
Because after the repairs were done, the place still smelled like fire and there was water damage. So the water damage was more substantial than the fire damage.
Mind you, she's sitting here lying. She was evicted. Oh, wait, she was evicted. But I feel like she set the place on fire in the process of her being evicted. You know what? Oh, shit.
You didn't go back to your apartment because it still smelled like smoke.
And water damage.
What makes you choose to stay here instead when the homeowner has made it clear she doesn't want you here, doesn't want to be a landlord? There's now no utilities on. There's wood boarded up. There's a sign outside saying she doesn't want you here. What's making you choose to stay?
So no, that didn't start until literally this month.
What did it start?
The sign on the building or the utility, that wasn't something that happened prior to this month. So if that had happened months ago and that was something that I've been dealing with for months, I would leave. So now.
No, bitch, you knew you weren't paying that lady no money. So you knew you had to get the fuck up out of there. Don't act dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb.
With all of this going on, I am going to leave.
Romero says she is still going to have the Douglases.
Bitch, if you're going to leave, get the fuck out then. Why you got to go to court? Get the fuck out. You want a news saying you're going to leave, then get the fuck out. Don't wait for a date. Get the fuck out.
Go through the full court process to get her out because of what she says they have put her through and for labeling her as a squatter.
Squatter is someone who is illegally entered the property without your notice and you never had an agreement with them.
It's also not just if the home's vacant, it's if you.
There's more than one definition of a squatter, bitch. I understand what she's trying to say, going into a place and, just that's empty, what she's trying to say, like an abandoned crack house or some shit like that, or an empty apartment that hasn't been rented out, because I know some people who have done that and then just lay up in there. But no, you're a different type of squatter. You're still a squatter. Don't do that.
If you're there without the owner's permission, and you're not leaving.
Yes, if you had maybe that other part is there.
Coming up at 6, more from Shadija and why she says she is a tenant, although there is not a lease that exists between the two. I also spoke with an attorney for both tenants and landlords in these situations, and he explains how homeowners unwillingly walk themselves into these situations and become landlords. For now, reporting live from Northeast DC, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
More now on a story that's getting a lot of reaction online. A DC homeowner claims a woman has taken over her rental home and refuses to leave. And up until now, she's run into one legal brick wall after another. So joining us now is Aaron Sokolow, a DC-based lawyer who specializes in landlord and cases. Aaron, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Talk to us about this, because this has just been a wild story, and it's raised probably the biggest question is, how is squatting even allowed to happen?
So in theory, squatting is not legal and the homeowner should have some remedy. The problem is in the logistical way that a homeowner can get a remedy. And what you're describing in this case that you've been reviewing is that there's a dispute. The individual who's there says she's a tenant, the homeowner says that she's not. And you go down to court on an emergency hearing and there's a judge sitting there and the judge is going to hear from both. But the district is so pro-tenant and so fearful that there will be a wrongful eviction or a self-help eviction where the owner changes utilities or does something to cause occupant to leave without court order, that the judge is going to err on the side of caution. And if the occupant can show something that leads the court to say that there's a possibility that she's allowed to stay there, the court could grant the occupant's request at an injunction and mandate that the owner keeps her there until she gets awarded a proper eviction. And the problem is, in the district, that can take months and months, and it puts homeowners in.
And that was the shitty part of COVID, because it was so many cases, so many eviction cases, that everything was backdated. So, on you. Hold on. Someone can file an eviction on you, but it'll take a while for the court date. So the person is just staying in there longer. The person is just staying in their spot longer.
It's in a really tough spot in the situation you've described.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you're shining so much light on the court process, what that actually looks like. That being said, would you say the laws in DC are favorable to squatters?
Well, they're favorable to tenants, and one person's squatter is another person's alleged squatter, an actual tenant. And the court is going to make sure that it finds out the answer to that preliminary question of, has that individual achieved tenancy status or not? And so you're starting with the conclusion that the person's a tenant, but that individual has a right to go to court and try to prove that she's actually a tenant and afforded all of the rights of tenants in the district. And therein lies the rub. It's not easy to get a court to find an answer to that question. It seems simple. In the eyes of the law, it could become very complicated, especially in the district.
How common is this? You say especially in the district. How common is this problem?
I have personally been involved in a handful of these over the years. So it's not every day that you see it. It's certainly a worst case scenario, but I've seen it before. So it's not a unicorn. It's something that comes up. Remember, in the district, you don't need to have a written lease. You know, a tenant can be defined very broadly. So if an individual can come, and in this case, it's a utility bill is in their name, and that's a common factor that a court would look at. If the tenant, if the occupant can say, you know, here's my proof of some payment, that can be enough. You know, I've had cases where my client, a property owner, a landlord, says this person literally broke in, but by the time, you know, it gets to the courthouse, they have some name and the property address on it or something like that. And the court proceeds out of an abundance of caution and is so hesitant to sign off on a self-help eviction that they say, well, you know, because the prejudice to locking this person out would be so high, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt until we can get to the bottom of that. And get to the bottom of that can be a trial that's held 9 months later.
Just the timeline, which, as we kind of were seeing in the package, the payments, this can be excruciating for people trying to pay and not even living at a property in the meantime. Aaron, what can homeowners actually do then in a situation like this?
My biggest recommendation is to be present and to understand what's going on. Accidental landlords, you know, if you just say, oh, I'm not an institutional landlord, I'm just renting out my room. They are held to the same rigors and standards as every other landlord in the city. So being knowledgeable about the law, being knowledgeable about what a court might say about these certain situations is of the utmost importance, as is being hands-on at the property.
So I'm on a Reddit thread about this chick, and apparently her last name has been changed. That's how she was able to do this shit. Her former last name used to be Maddox. So Shadija Maddox, and she changed her last name to Romero. Oh, yeah, yeah. See, I'm just going down the thread. Okay, so here is, and because Mecklenburg County, where I live, this is how our civil court case website looks. So a lot of these counties and these states, they're switching their civil cases. Everything is going to be online. All the information is going to be online. You can search somebody up and look up all the shit that they got going on. I know somebody now, which is so crazy because they're going back and forth with the parents. They can't co-parent with the other person, and all their shit is all over the fucking website. Like, I'm so fucking nosy. I have so much information, but anyway, this right here, let's look her up. DC has the same type of website, looks just like ours. So all you have to do is just put in someone's last name, first name. Let's see what comes up. This is my first time, so let's look at this together. Let's look at it. So this is two properties. This is recent. Yeah, and Ava Noma. 2. And this is the current one. This is the current one. So this is the address. 810 20th Street Northeast. Oh, wow. Look at this. So this is the same address. That's the same Qualis, Shadija Qualis. This is another one. This is another one. So this is 3, 4. Wait, 4. Okay, so this is 4. What's the date for this one? What's the date for this one? 2022. So this is a change of name. No, this is how she changed her name. This bitch changed her name. So whenever someone looked her up, they wouldn't find this shit. Oh, but bitch, you in it now. Oh, bitch, you in it now. So she changed her name back in 2022. Only cost $60 to change your name. There it is right there. It only costs $60 to change your name. Let's go back up. And this is what I like about this new court system, where you can have everything online, everything, even the papers. Oh, well, will it show that I have the folder? You can have the paperwork, excuse me, the paperwork. Oh, they can't decode it? Damn, I can't get the fucking paperwork. Shoot. Well, she changed her name. You can have it. I mean, you see it right there. The bitch changed your name. Let's go back to these oh wait, hold on. Yeah, let's go back to, oh shoot, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here talking. I had no idea that you couldn't see this. Yeah, she changed her name. This is just the shit saying that she changed her name. qualise@gmail.com. Okay, bitch, don't have me email you and cuss your ass out doing that lady dirty like that. Romero, huh? That is crazy. Okay, well, that's it right there. Let's go back to her court cases. So let's go back up to the top. Landlord tenant. Civil actions. And she's not technically a tenant. So Catler, this is back in 2003. Isn't there one before 2003, 2024? No, that was it. I feel like she should have had more since she's done this more than 3 fucking times. L, look at this. Opened 2013. Wait, oh, sorry. Damn, I forgot y'all couldn't see that. Okay, let's go back. Opened February 2013. Closed March 2013. I'm sorry. This is all in the year 2023. See how long all this shit has been going on? From February to August. Settlement consent agreement filed, redeemable after breach of settlement. So they offered her a settlement. And then she was in breach of settlement because she wasn't fucking paying. Landlord tenant judge. Let's see. Oh, this is crazy. Complaint filed. Let me see if I can get this. See if I can open that file. And so y'all can be able to see that. Ooh, yep, we can do it. Let me see if it's showing up. Yep. Let's blow this up. Let's blow this shit up. See if I can get it full screen. See how it's looking for y'all. Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, yeah. We working with something now. Blow this up a little bit more. Because it's too small. Okay. Okay, so. Oh, darn it. So, this is the paperwork from 2023 when she was at this other address. Wait, excuse me. When she was at this other address. Y'all know what? Y'all can look at this real quick. And I'm just going to take a quick little bathroom break. Excuse me. And give me something to drink. Excuse me, y'all. I had to give me some good water. Okay. Let's get back to the bullshit. Yeah. Let's get back to the mess. So, just like any other eviction, they filed for possession. They want possession for non-payment of rent. $21,000? Wait. $21,000? Oh, wow. Damn. Notice to defendants, summons to appear in court. Damn. She really just don't give a fuck now, does she? Oh, look. Oh, nigga. What the fuck? Now, this shit right here, they'll keep a ledger on your ass. Look at all the charges that she racked up. I have to charge my phone. Oh my God. Storage, late fees. But look, she's made little itty bitty $10 fucking dollars, bitch. $100, $10, $199. Now, when she was making these transactions, they shouldn't have even let her do that, because look at the total, $24,000. They shouldn't have even let her do that, because when you are late, you shouldn't be able just to give little pissy ass payments like that. You should be, you should have to, she moved in 2019 and she had the lease to 2022. From what? Wait, so is this is where she was staying? So this is her COVID apartment. This is her COVID apartment. But yeah, when you're late and you have back rent, you shouldn't be able to make those pissy ass little payments. You have to pay everything in full. Either you pay it all or you pay nothing at all. And she decided to pay nothing. Wow. Let's go down a little bit further. She had to pay for parking, rent, the lockout fee. What? Visitor parking. A replacement key fob. You wouldn't be able to replace shit with me. Oh, they took a picture of the notice on her door. Looks like she had a nice ass apartment. Damn. Intake Clouderbuck. Oh, damn. Akeisha Clouderbuck. Girl, we're not even gonna address that. Clouderbuck. So what is this? Claim of exemption form. Rent control. If this housing consumption is exempt, skip parts registration. This is crazy. Wait a minute. Hold on. Jameson at Dakota Property. They have these people's phone numbers, but do they have her phone number on here? That's crazy, bro. See how long she's been doing this shit? Okay, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for this rental property. So she has been in this one for some years. This goes all the way back to COVID. Evidently, she moved in 9/28/2019. Her lease was supposed to be until 2022. She signed a long ass lease. I've never seen a lease that long before. They don't have her number on here because that'll be messy, and I'll call that bitch. I'll call her, see if she up. Homework. Wait, hold on. Let me try something real quick. See if this is even still her number. She looked like the type of bitch that'll be switching her damn numbers out. Because motherfuckers gonna keep calling and asking what their damn money is. Let me go back. Was that 240-355-1689?
Por favor, deje su mensaje para...
What the hell? Shit. Okay, and we'll see on the updated paperwork if she has a different phone number. Past due rent, $19,000. Look at this shit. How do you do this? How are you able to do this? Okay, well let's stop sharing. Let's get out of this paperwork right here. Let's get back to. I'm back on StreamYard. Let me get back to this. Let's get back to oops. Just a moment. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Get back up here. Let me make sure it's showing on the live. There we go. Okay, so that was Kettler. That was the one in 2023. Now, this most recent, I think this is the most recent, before she moved into Miss Douglas's home, her Airbnb. Let's check out this one. Let me close out all those other tabs and we can share this tab. 11/13/2024 closed. So I'm guessing this is where she was before she moved into the Airbnb. See if complaint filed early last year. Initial hearing of notice, affidavit, personal service, initial hearing, oral consent, magistrate judge, notice to court, initial hearing, protective order granted by, hold on. Defendant ordered to pay court registry sum of $1,800. So she was doing all of her court dates online, I'm guessing. She kept filing motions for emergency continuance by telephone. Application pending. Hearing motions. Now she owes $44,000. Default into the 3 case. She failed to appear. The defendant failed to appear. So they gave her a default amount of $44,000. Damn. Case continued to 11/7/2024, 9 a.m. Damn. Default hearing entered. So 11/13. Plaintiff failed to appear. Confirmed that defendant's ERAP application is still pending. ERAP stay resolved, stay lifted by court. Sworn testimony by plaintiff's witness, Sarah Harvey, heard in full. Plaintiff's exhibits admitted and received. Monthly rent, $48,000. Good God. Plaintiff is granted a redeemable judgment for possession. Okay, so old and completed. Entered in favor. Notice of tenant payment required to avoid eviction filed. They wouldn't have given anybody in Mecklenburg County this amount of fucking time. Rent of possession. When they filed that writ of possession, that means, the sheriff is coming. The sheriff is coming for your ass. Now, they filed that writ of possession in December. So what was the date that she was supposed to be out? Let's see that. Because if they filed it, why was she still there? Let me see if y'all can see that. If they filed that writ of possession, why was she still there? Oh. Ooh. Hold on. Hereby commanded without the date to cause a plaintiff to have possession of the premises. Recovery. Return this writ of possession immediately after you was executed within 75 days of the date hereof. 75 days. You are hereby notified that above entitled cause of writ of possession has been issued, commanding to take possession of the premises you indicated above, and shall have ordered by the plaintiff to see the weekday of what? There's no date. Wait, where's the date? Where's the date? This looks so different from it's a different state, but damn. Okay, so what's the date? Okay, so hold on. Oh, let me go back to, I gotta share this again. I'm sorry, y'all. Who's ever's watching. Register of actions. There we go. So, okay, it was issued and it was approved. It was approved on the 26th of December of 2024. So around this time last year, she was given the notice. So is this the notice that she was given? Okay, now this is the same sheet. Now let's see. There's still no date. So when were they supposed to get Possession of the property. Damn, I got to get a U.S. Marshal. I guess because, it's the District of Columbia. It's D.C. So they use the marshals up there. Down here, they'll send the sheriff to your door. Shadija Romero, defendant. Huh. Okay, so let me I don't know what the hell was going on. Share this tab instead. So let's go back. I don't know what was going on between December of last year, this month last year, and February of this year. So they gave her a notice on February 5th. Let's see what this says. This is the same paper. Hold on. It's the same paper. Same paper. It's the same notice. It's the same notice. They don't have a date. Okay. Now, here's what she did. She did an application of stay of execution of writ of restitution filed, mailed to the plaintiff, docketed on 2/11, filed by her. She knows what she's doing. She's getting everybody caught up in paperwork and files and motions and shit. So let's see, because she's supposed to write this out. Let's see what she put on here. Let's see if she has a reason of why she do. This is what they showed on the news. This is what they showed on the news. Ew, look at her fucking handwriting. Gross. Oh, is that her phone number? Oh, is that her phone number? Is that her phone number? What is it? 498 5733. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I hope her guilt got her up in the middle of the fucking night. I don't want her to sleep a fucking wink.
Hey, I'm sorry I missed your call. Leave me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you. Bye.
See, she didn't state her name. And I want to make sure I'm calling the right person. I don't want to cuss the wrong person out. But here's what she put on the fucking paperwork. She's lying about this damn fire. And her handwriting is so crappy. I want to make sure that everybody can see it. A fire took place on February 7th at the unit. This fire caused damage to the unit and the belongings in the unit. What? Before I can remove items from the unit, my insurance needs to see the unit as well as the belongings in the unit. Okay, so here's what she did. She started the fire, and then she got some insurance company caught up in this shit. That's at least that's what she's saying. The unit is currently uninhabitable. Belongings are present. So she filed an application to stay because her shit is still in there because of the fire that she set. I feel like she set that fire. I feel like she set that fire. Notice of hearing. So that's her application stay. And she filed that in February of this year. Okay. So this is what the news is seeing. Okay, let me get my shit back. Hold on. So that's what the news was seeing. So she filed the application, remote application for stay, execution of writs. That what was that? She filed that her application was denied. We don't need to look at anything else. The application was denied. Writ to be proceed as scheduled, held and completed. Writ executed 2/28. Damn, that's my nephew's birthday. 2/28. Yep. Let's see if this got bigger for y'all on screen. Yep. So they filed the writ on 26th of December, 2/28. Executed 2/28. So she was put out on 2/28. February 28th. Or was it March 11th? What's this March 11th? I don't know what all these stamps and shit are for. Okay, so when did she move into that lady's damn Airbnb? Get the fuck out. Ma'am, just get the fuck out. Like, seriously. Court document, public anonymous user. What is this? Hold on, y'all. It was something else on here. Oh, initial hearing. Oh, no, that's nothing. I'm sorry. That's nothing. That's nothing. So that was the place where she was living before she went to the Airbnb. Now, let's get to the shit. Let's get to the Airbnb shit. Let's get to the Airbnb case when she first filed it. So when was the first filing? 10/21/2005. How long has this lady been there? Okay, so it's 3 different case numbers. This must be the lady's husband, Roshan's husband. Okay, so let's click on this one. Let's see. Share that tab instead. Let me see how if I can get this there we go. That looks a lot better. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. Landlord tenant. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. Landlord tenant. So let's go down. Dismissed by plaintiff. Why? Housing conditions. What is this? Defendant. So she filed against them? She couldn't have filed against them. Housing code regulations. 1021. Complaint for. She had the nerve to be filing housing code violations when she wasn't paying anything? Virtual. She loves to do a virtual hearing. Held and completed. Motion filed. Order denying motion. Now, this is what fucked me up right here. Virtual offsite. I'm reading this right here where the mouse is. Temporary restraining order hearing held. Plaintiff Shadija Romero, defense counsel Liz, can't pronounce that, and defendants Roshan and Brian Douglas appeared before the court remotely for the scheduled virtual offsite temporary restraining order hearing. Plaintiffs Romero represented to the court that parties have reached an agreement and is now signed a move to dismiss this case. Defense counsel confirmed an agreement which goes as follows. Plaintiff Romero is to vacate the unit. She was supposed to leave, and the rent will be forgiven from October to November 15th. And the plaintiff will be given 20. Yep, that's what they said on the news. They were trying to pay this bitch to leave. Bitch, they were trying to pay this bitch to leave in exchange for the keys to the condition on the unit in proper condition upon inspection. So she wouldn't have been able to get the money if the unit is in proper condition upon inspection. So the lady said on the news, Miss Douglas said on the news, that her shit was being taken out of the house because it was an Airbnb. Her shit was being taken out of the house. She said there's water leakage, damages done to the house. So she wouldn't have got that $2,500, I feel like. Therefore, the motion for temporary restraining order and all other motions have been denied, as moot in this case is now dismissed. Orders will be issued by chambers and all parties via email. Damn, that is so fucked up. Plaintiff withdrew her suit. Of course she withdrew it. She has no grounds to be suing anybody. But she paid the little funky ass $55 to file this bullshit. The fuck? Balance due as of today. Oh, nothing. So you can pay that. And today's the court hearing. So this is separate from, so let's go back. So 11/24/2005. Open. What's going on with this open shit? Whew. Wrongful eviction. She got the fucking nerve. Wrongful eviction. Complaint filed, motion for preliminary. She just kept filing and just shit. Look at this. The 14th, the 17th, the 28th, the 2nd, everything. Motion for temporary restraining order filed. Really? Look at this. So they had that virtual hearing that they was talking about on the news. Plaintiff Shadija Romero sworn in and provided testimony. Defendant's counsel was sworn in and provided testimony. Okay. Testimony to resume on the next hearing date. Case continued to 12/4. Okay, that was the next day. Temporary restraining order. Parties provided an update as to the heat issue, power issue. Defendant Roshan Douglas resumes testimony. Defendant Romero cross-examined and witness R. Douglas. To the witness R. Douglas. Defendants, that looks like a typo. This looks like a typo right here. Motion for injunction relief is denied. Plaintiff motion is granted in part. Defendant's order to fix the issue, power, and turn on the heat. Bitch, you don't need no power and heat. And then Child and Family Services was there because she brought her child up in that house. So here's the thing. So here's what she did. She said, I have my child in the house. I have no power and heat. So she filed that shit to make her turn, to have the court make her turn on the power and the heat because there's a child in the house. The child didn't have to be there. Plaintiff ordered to grant defendants access to the unit, ordered to issue from the chambers. Held and completed oral order denying. How come they can't get inside their own fucking house? The lady says she can't get inside her own house. Motion filed. She's been filing motion, and they've been filing motions back. Filing motions back and forth. Motion for contempt. That was on 9th, a few days ago. Notice to court. Notice motion to seal. Oh! I know she's not trying to get information, still address and phone number and email address. Oh, nah, bitch. So you want your information hidden? You want to live up in this lady's house without paying anything, but you want your information hidden? Let me zoom in. I'd like court documents that contain personal information sealed. Fuck you, bitch. Look at her phone number. Yeah, because, so that's her phone number. That's her phone number for real. Oh, for real? That's why she want the shit hidden, because I'll call her ass, because she knows she wrong. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been calling, asking her questions like, how come you won't get out this lady's fucking house? Yeah, I'll do some messy shit like that. Yeah, you better ask for your shit to be hidden. Instead of filing paperwork with landlord court, the defendant went to the news and maliciously lied on the what? Maliciously lied on the plaintiff while providing her name and business info. You don't have any privacy. You're in someone else's house. I have been receiving death threats and have made changes to my numbers and emails due to harassment. Well, bitch, I'm the harasser. This was yesterday. She filed this shit yesterday. Okay, let's go back to the file this instead. That was yesterday. Motion hearing. What? Look at this. So there's a motion hearing. Look at all the court dates just in the month of December. Look at all the shit. No, these aren't court dates. Look at all the documents that have been filed for the month of December. So I hope there's some type of resolution for today. We'll come back online and see if it's updated. But I hope this shit doesn't drag out to February, because you see where it says February 20th, a rescheduling. But why? Why would you want to do that? Now everybody knows where you live. Everybody knows where you live now. Fuck changing your phone number and your email address. Now they know where you live. Anybody can come up, bang on the door, harass you. And the lady put the sign on the window saying that you don't belong there. That's crazy. That is crazy. All the way to February. Why did they schedule it out? Oh, I understand because of holidays. Why not the 1st of January? Y'all trying to. So the plaintiff, so she has money to file this shit. Total financial assessment And this is the payments that she made. You got money to do that shit, but you can't pay for yourself to move. You can't go to a hotel. What's the problem? You can't get a little motel room because people live out of motels, but you can live in a storage unit. I understand it's DC and it's cold, but get the fuck out that lady's house. And then she had a nerve to file a fucking restraining order filed by Romero. Oh, wait, hold on. Police reports. Notice to court. What? This is November 17th. What's going on? What's that? I'm attaching police reports filed. The defendants have since surveilled camera. God damn, her handwriting is ass. Door was broken. Something. What? Oh, this is a police report she filed on November 14th. Reports that she received numerous calls on social media. The Airbnb owner's daughter attempting to collect the debt over late payments, telling her she needs to get out of her mother's house. So she's using that to file a restraining order against Miss Douglas. Shots fired. No, there should have been. Qualice. Qualice. Girl, you can change your last name, but you can't change that ghetto ass middle name. Qualice. Ill. Do I need to zoom this up again? Was in uniform officers to try to evict from her residence, was advising to go through the required eviction process, was advised to respect her tenant's privacy rights, demanded a police report, whatever. Whatever. Landlord had brought a white in color van to the location station. She has gone through the courts for an illegal eviction. She been working overtime to stay in these people's house. Why not leave? That's crazy. Look, I don't want to be nowhere where I'm not wanted. And I'm wanted in my apartment because I fucking paid for it, okay? Yep, that's a phone number. That's the phone number that we called. Oh, let me get the other lady's phone number off of here. But yeah. Damn, bro. So we'll come back later on today, see if there is any resolution to the court case. How do I get my what? Yeah, we'll come back later on today because we don't know what time. Most likely it's like 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning, so we have a little bit of time. Let's move on because this is drained the hell out of me. Let's move on. So, per the title I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, born and raised. I'm a unicorn. It's hard to find a native Charlottean here and in my city because, you know, Charlotte, people from Charlotte like to get the fuck out, like to move. And it's a lot of people from other cities and states coming in. There was a stabbing on our light rail. What was this lady's name? Urena, yeah, Lorena Zarutska. Let me share this, and let me go ahead and share my tab. So we have the Lynx Blue Line here. Lynx Blue Line, it goes from Pineville, I-485 station. Pineville is damn near in South Carolina, almost, but not really. It goes all the way down to South Boulevard coming from uptown. Now the other end of the light rail, it goes from uptown Charlotte or downtown, whichever one you want to call it, because we have Center City. Some people will call it uptown, downtown, when really it's Center City. We call it Center City because Charlotte is one big fucking circle. Charlotte is one big circle. It goes straight from one end to the other, going in a straight line, and you take I-485 inner or outer to go around the city. So 77 goes through the city, I-485 goes around the city. So the Lynx is following from like I said, South Boulevard Station to uptown, and then it goes from uptown and it follows through, what's the last? Concord. The last station. Hey Google, what's the last station on the Lynx Blue Line in Charlotte, North Carolina?
The Lynx Blue Line has two end stations, UNC Charlotte, main station in the north, and I-480.
It goes to UNC Charlotte. And UNC Charlotte is damn near going into Harrisburg, Concord, that area, North Charlotte, basically. So this girl, she was stabbed on August 22nd by, well, we could just click on. This is crazy. Get the shit off of here. This guy right here. She was stabbed on the that's what our Lynx looks like, at East West Boulevard Station. Stabbed in the neck or the chest, I think. And it's so weird because it came out of nowhere. And just like any other writer, the person that stabbed her, this guy in the back, what was his name? This guy in the red sweater, he has prior tickets. You know, like if you ride the train without buying a ticket, that's like a mini misdemeanor. Like nobody takes that shit seriously because like it's just without a ticket. I mean, obviously, but she was stabbed. So that caused, I want to see, that caused a really bad uproar in our city. And when it first happened, it was like a lot of, just a lot of, shit talking about it, because I was confused. I was confused because a lot has been happening on our train since it was first built. Shit, the people have been fighting, people have been pissing and shitting on the train. It's a lot of shit that's been going on. I'm pretty sure she could not have been the first person that's been stabbed on the train. So I was wondering, like, why all of a sudden when somebody who is pale skinned. Why is this major news? This is the first time anything like this has happened on our links train. What was this guy's name? Oh, DeCarlos Brown Jr. He's been charged with first-degree murder. So this was in August. Reactions, Donald Trump and the mayor, Vi Lyles. This is our mayor right here. This is our mayor. Our mayor is a Black woman named Vi Lyles. I've met her before. Oh, I'm glad she's not a Virgo. Yeah. Anyway. So they're doing a whole bunch of marketing and they're trying to, like reassure that the links is safe to ride and they have a lot of extra security. Okay. I used to do security. I do dispatch now, but I used to do security. So the security that used to be on our links trains was it Allied Universal? Allied Universal. This used to be our security for the links. No, I'm lying. Allied was security for the transit center. Now the Charlotte Transportation Center the Transportation Center in Charlotte. Ew, gross. Charlotte Transportation Center. If you know anything about Charlotte, you know that the Transportation Center is a pissy ass fucking place. It's real stank. It's where the light rail meets, just the uptown. It's the bus station, really. It's the bus station. It's the bus station. So, let me see. Do they have it on Google Maps? See, when you Google the Charlotte Transportation Center, it'll give you these nice picturesque. Oh, it rides into the Spectrum Center and the train stops at the Spectrum Center. And just below is the Transportation Center, the bus station where you can transfer from bus to bus. Bullshit. Yeah, you can transfer from bus to bus, but you got to dodge the crackheads also. And I heard it was a few years ago. They've been trying to shut that place down for the longest. Where can I find like some real pictures that people have posted? There's our transit center, our beloved transit center. That's disgusting. There's pigeons and crows everywhere. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So that's the Transportation Center from the Spectrum Center. So behind where this picture would have been taken is the Spectrum Center where they have all the concerts and shit. And yeah, and that's where the links goes, and that's the Spectrum Center. And that's not the transit. Like, what the fuck? And that's what it looks like. You see how dirty it looks? That's what it looks like. So, and I'm shocked because, since she got stabbed, like nobody's talked about all the stabbings that's happened at the Transportation Center. It's few people got killed in the last few years at the Transportation Center. So they're concerned about the links. And they're not talking about the safety and the security at the Transportation Center because it rides right through. That's the hub. That's where it meets. Okay. So, of course, the National Guard was supposed to be called because they were in Chicago, little Chirac or whatever. And, our governor or whoever the fuck was trying to get the National Guard to come down here and regulate the crime in the city. And anyway. So it's been a lot of stabbings in the state of North Carolina. Let me just Charlotte stabbings. Because if Donald Trump is turning an eye, if Donald Trump is turning an eye to Charlotte and saying, "Oh, he's outraged," he's never even, like, he'll stop by through Charlotte to do a fucking speech or whatever, but he's never gave a damn. Nobody's ever gave a damn about our heck little city that used to be a farm town years ago. Data error prevented infinite ban for December light rail stabbing. Now, someone just got stabbed this week again. Someone just got stabbed this week again. And they're making it to the point where, like, they're trying to say, the residents don't feel safe. And let me stop there. They were trying to plan to build another light rail going into, so they're trying to make it to where it goes past Northlake Mall. Northlake goes into Huntersville, Cornelius, Davidson. They're trying to build a train up to, I hate to say it, the suburban areas outside of Charlotte. Still Mecklenburg County, but it's more suburban. It's a lot of white folks, a lot of rich white folks that live in this area. And the towns, those areas, they're trying to vote against building a train. And I feel like this may be like some psyop shit, like to strengthen their vote to ban building a train into those areas. Because what they can say is, well, look at the crime that's happening on the train. Why should you build a train to go up in our neighborhoods where the crime is so low? And I see what they're saying, because crime can happen anywhere. But I guess they think that, the thugs just want to hop on the train and ride up to Cornelius and, rob their homes or some shit. I guess that's what really is being said without being said. So this recent stabbing, they're trying to say the light rail riders feel uneasy. And I understand what they're saying, because anybody could just get on, stab you, shoot you, and get the fuck off. Second stabbing attack in North Carolina. And, I can't even say that it's, like fear mongering, because shit, it's really easy to access the train. So even with all the up security, Allied Universal used to be for the transit, G4S. Okay, so G4S used to ride the train. Let's get the security out the way. Allied was contracted. These security companies are contracted to secure the transit and the Lynx Blue Line. Now, there are two different companies. There were two different companies. Why? I don't know. Allied had the transit. G4S had the Lynx Blue Line. So the G4S officers were hopping on and off the train for the longest. They would ride the train. They would check people's tickets. They were responsible for the Lynx Blue Line. Allied was responsible for the transit. Now, I don't know, but the business decisions, like all the money, I don't know why for so many years they had two different companies doing the same thing for our transit system. Two different companies. One, it just never made sense to me. But with the contracts, they said to pay for each officer. And when I was working for Allied, I refused. Mind you, I just stopped working for Allied part-time last year. I refused to go work at the transit. I refused to ride around on the bus. I just no. Because what started happening was they started getting security officers. And that's another thing. Because like I said, yeah, people were getting killed on our buses also. There was a bus driver that got shot because of a road rage incident right by the transit. Maybe like 2022, I think. It's been a lot happening. So bus drivers can't get shot, they can't get harmed. Riders can get harmed on the buses, but as soon as this white woman gets stabbed, y'all want to make it national news. It's been a lot that's been going on. Our safety has been in question for years, but all of a fucking sudden, okay, mind you, all those other incidents, the victims were not white. So this current stabbing, which is crazy because, let me see, are they trying to say that the suspect was supposed to be banned? Whew. Let me play this. Don't start with these ads. Oh, we got an advertisement. Are they going to play this? I'd rather them not. Let's just.
Incidents. That's according to October. Don't start without me. Oh, okay. Wow, this picture.
Is he gonna wash his
amazing.
hands?
Yeah, it's the TCL QM7K Cutie Mini LED TV.
Right enough for any space.
He didn't
And
even
the
wash
price,
his hands.
come on. It's my kind of
He didn't even wash his hands.
Cheers.
Okay.
That's nasty. Okay. Let's get back to this. What? No, that's not it. That's not what we were. That's not it. Man, what the fuck? Damn. Where is the video? I should just went on YouTube. I hate going onto the website. I don't have time for this. I really don't. Let's just go on YouTube because it's fucking dumb. Where is the most recent? Because they got some new information about the victim of the second stabbing. Because this happened, what, like 4 or 5 days ago? Okay, yeah, let's share this. Let's share this. Let's share. I'm in a sharing mood. Let's share the screen. That's our mayor.
Charlotte Ends 2025 focused on the issue that shaped this city this year: safety on public transit.
What has this year been like for you personally?
Oh, it's been a tough year. I'm not going to say that it's been an easy one.
The murder of Ukrainian immigrant Irina Zarutska on the light rail in August shook this city.
Then she was Ukrainian,
Video of the crime
so
went
she just
viral,
happened to be
giving
Ukrainian.
Charlotte something it's not used to: negative national media attention.
When you look at us, you think, well, everything is going okay. But honestly, we have to recognize that sometimes there is not good coming.
National Republicans and conservative influencers put the blame squarely on the mayor for being soft on crime. The criticism often overestimated her role. Charlotte's mayor is technically a part-time position with no executive powers. Still, Lyles became the face of the city's failure. For the first time in her career, she was briefed on threat assessments regarding her safety.
I have been grateful that our chief of police said, let's take some time, let's pause. Why don't you stay home for a bit until we can make sure that it's safe for you.
Months later, the security concerns remain.
Do you have armed security still?
I would say that CMPD follows what I do and makes it sure that when we're doing this, that they understand where I am and what I'm doing.
After last Friday's attack on the Blue Line, city leaders have more work to do. The mayor says public safety is the #1 priority as we look to 2026.
Charlotte is a place that's going to be safe. It's going to be a place where people can live together and not have to have.
Good afternoon, Felicia Ashley with ABC.
It's between him and Puff. And before it's between him and Puff, it's between both of them and God.
Let's go back. That's a different live for a different day. Let's pause for a moment. Just for a little moment, okay?
3, 2.
And we're back. Yeah. I heard a car alarm outside and I had to make sure it wasn't my shit. Yeah, so it wasn't, thank God. Because I don't know where anybody could fucking go. Because my shit not running right now. I have to get my car fixed and it's time to get paid. So give me just a moment while I get myself together. Whew. Thought I was gonna have to run outside for a moment. Whew. How long have I been live? 2 damn hours. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this story together so we can wrap this up. Because we'll probably be back midday with this first story about the squatter. And then I have to be at work. I don't have to be at work, but I'd rather get the overtime. I'd rather have my 100 hours per pay period. Ooh, if I can get more, I would. My paychecks come out the same and I want more. So anyway, so that's our mayor talking about the safety. But let's get into the latest. Let's get into it.
We have an update. President Trump is pointing blame at Democrats tonight in the aftermath of the second stabbing on the Charlotte light rail. We had his first speech, or his full speech, that is, just hours ago over on WCNC Plus. The president brought up the recent incident while pushing for more Republican representation across the entire state. The president went on to say that he's voicing support for Republican Senate.
I'm sorry, but Donald Trump don't know shit about what's going on here in fucking Charlotte. It was literally a fucking argument between two uncivilized motherfuckers, and
The
one
man
ended
accused
up
of
getting
stabbing
stabbed.
another rider on a Blue Line train was banned from CATS because of a pair of October incidents. That's according to the Charlotte area transit system officials tonight. That stabbing happened Friday night on a train in North Charlotte. Investigators say Oscar Solorzano was drunk and disruptive on the Blue Line. Another rider confronted him, telling Solorzano to be quiet. The suspect allegedly stabbed the other rider in the chest. Solorzano is facing charges including attempted murder, assault, and a concealed weapon, all tied to Friday's incident. He has been deported twice from the U.S. in the last 7 years. CATS officials say on October 8th, they banned Solorzano from the system for a year for a weapons violation. They do not offer the specifics on that incident. They say the next day, Solorzano got another ban for 6 months for public intoxication. They say security officers did not know about the ban from the day before because of a clerical error.
What?
In a letter released tonight,
But
CATS
he was
interim CEO
deported?
Brett Cagle says their transit exclusions are legal restrictions, not physical barriers. He says there are no controlled.
Now, before they get into no security on train at the time of stabbing, the way the security goes on the Lynx train is they work in pairs. They work in pairs, and the Lynx train, it goes both ways. It goes from I-485 to UNCC, and then UNCC to I-485. So it's one train going one way, one train going going the other way, excuse me. Okay, so there's maybe, I want to say 2 pairs, one pair on one train, one pair on the other. Or if they're short-staffed, mind you, they are short-staffed a lot, it's one pair, and they'll hop off and they'll get on the next train, and they work back and forth. So I don't want, damn, they want to blame security so bad, but I understand because they're short-staffed. They just want to blame somebody. I understand they want to blame somebody, whoever they is, but I mean, damn, and that clerical error, it just doesn't look good for CATS. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It doesn't look good for CATS. It doesn't look good for them at all. I don't even, ooh, bitch. And it's crazy because when I was, before I started working the job I'm at now, I was doing part-time security for a company called Strategic. I'm lying. I was doing part-time dispatch. I haven't done physical security in maybe like 3 years, maybe 3 years. So I was doing dispatch. So the same company that I was working for, Strategic, they used to be up at the transit. They had a short contract, maybe like 2 years. Strategic was up at the transit for 2 years before the new company that's up there now called PSS. I forgot what it's called. It's like blue letters and it's like on a black, it's called PSS security or whatever. So I was at my dispatch spot far away from the transit, and the officers that were up at the transit, working up at the transit, they had the transit and the Lynx. This is before people started getting stabbed. This was literally last year. And there was an incident that happened to where The officers, I guess they were being a little bit overzealous. I don't know the story behind it, but they picked up a disabled, and then he was a veteran too. They picked up a disabled vet. And he had one leg. It just looked so bad. The security and the press around the security and the transit and the Lynx train, it's just bad. I don't know how the altercation started, but it was maybe like 5 or 6 officers on one person. And then he had a dog. He had a service dog. They picked him up and they threw him like on this, like where the picture that showed you on the shit. If I could just pull it up. Let's share this instead. So it was here, and then there's an upstairs where you can get to the Lynx train. So you can go inside and go upstairs. You can go upstairs on the outside of the transportation building. Security throws veteran from train. And he wasn't even on the train. He was on the side waiting for the train. And then it was caught on video. Oh, there it is. Let's this was the
3 security guards disabled man off of a blue line bench in Uptown with several other security guards just watching it all unfold. Thanks for joining us for your News at 5. I'm Alicia Barnes.
And I'm Morgan Francis. Charlotte area transit system officials say the security guards violated procedures and have been relieved from their duties. The dramatic incident happened at the Katz Blue Line stop in Uptown, and that's where we find Queen City News reporter Casey Jones. So, Casey, how did this escalate so quickly?
I'll tell you what, Morgan, dramatic is right. The interaction between a group of security guards and a man with a disability that happened here at the light rail station, it escalated quickly. And Katz officials say those security guards broke protocol and now they are all disciplinary action.
Well, they're fired now.
A surveillance video from Charlotte area transit shows a man taking
This is Strategic Security, y'all. The company is called Strategic. They are not working for Katz anymore, obviously.
A swig from a brown paper bag at 1:43 in the afternoon on November 17th, sitting at the Katz Blue Line stop in Uptown. Katz officials say he had been sitting in the same spot drinking for hours. Within 10 minutes, he's seen dancing with the dog before falling off the bench. The man's prosthetic leg is detached. He struggles to get up. An hour later, he's back on the bench when 8 security guards surround him wearing neon yellow vests. Katz officials say the man was asked to leave because he did not have a ticket. The man tosses his artificial leg at the security guards. That's when 2 of the security guards physically remove the man from the bench and lay him on the ground. The guards pick the man up by his leg and shirt and carry him a few feet as the dog follows behind. They lay him back on the ground and drag him by his shirt. Then they carry him by his pants and drop him outside of what Katz says is the area where people need tickets. The group works for Strategic Security Corporation, a New York-based private security company contracted by Katz for public safety on Katz property. A Katz spokesman says Strategic Security relieved the 3 guards of their duties and recommended their termination. And all guards who witnessed the incident face disciplinary action and will go through additional training. Katz officials say the proper protocol was to call medical attention for the man and contact a member of the Katz Connect team. Katz Connect pilot program aims to help people experiencing homelessness, mental illness, and substance abuse connect with local organizations that can help the individuals. The goal is to help people get support and resources focused on solutions. Queen City News reached out to Strategic Security, but they did not respond. Katz officials want to emphasize the behavior shown on this video does not reflect the values of Katz, and officials say they aim to treat all members of the community with respect and dignity.
Now, them the motherfuckers that should have been on the train when those two people were arguing and dude got stabbed in the chest last week. But they don't work for Cats anymore. Cats does not have strategic security contracted. Now they have PSS, and they went through a few security companies to secure our transit. Now let's get back to, I went off on a damn tangent. I saw an article about the victim of the stabbing from the second stabbing. Now, let me see if I can pull that up. So, the suspect was banned. The suspect was banned. So, let me see. And I saw the article continue. And I saw the article. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now they put out, someone put out an article. I forgot who put the article out. But eCourts. Apparently the victim of the stabbing, this most recent stabbing, he has a few court cases pending because of his, criminal record or whatever. And someone put that out because they thought it was important to broadcast that he is in legal trouble. His last name is Doby. First name Keon. That's Doobie. Now let's see if that comes up, because when you've been arrested in Mecklenburg County, they'll put what? Huh? Kenyon. Spelled it wrong. Kenyon Doby. Yep. That's him. Black male defendant. Mind you, this is the victim. Pending. This pending. Okay, so Kenyon Shamar, the Viewing University. Oh, he's got an eviction case also. Justice Huntley pending. Defendant. What is this? This must be traffic. Pending. Mecklenburg County traffic. So if this is pending, I'm trying to see which one is the most recent. So there was an article saying that he was arrested recently, claimed domestic violence, So, is he? Oh, custody. So apparently, he put his hands on a pregnant person, and I'm thinking this must be her right here. This must be a child support case. So, oops, I'm sorry. And this must be a child support case. So I'm not gonna. Of course, he owes child support. I'm not trying to be funny, but of course, he owes child support. So let's go back and share this tab. And when I saw the article, I was like, what does this have to do with him being assaulted? This is recent. Okay, so So he apparently has a charge, assault with serious bodily injury. Oh, he has aliases. Kenyon Kareem, Kenyon K. Release order the 10th. What? Was he arrested? Warrant for arrest return served. Attachment. He had a warrant. He had a warrant. Canceled. Oh, it was canceled today? He had a court case? Amended bond not authorized. Let's click on this, because this is all recent. And this, see, when you do dirt and then you're a victim of dirt, it's hard to get people to be on your side. And I want to get, god damn. Okay, so wow. Is the victim's name on here? Is it the same young lady from the child support case? Because this is him right here. Defendant is charged with a violent offense. So if they're trying to make the links train safer, like I said, you can't control who comes on the links train. What security can do is, like I said, check everybody's tickets. The people are not going to act up when security is on their train, but security can't be everywhere at all fucking times. That's what I'm trying to say. So when shit like this happens, charged with a violent crime and was able to determine no bond set. He has a court date today. Wait. Order setting conditions of release. So was he? Your release is not authorized. Defendant is required to provide fingerprints, blah, 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 blah. So when he gets out of the hospital, is he going to jail? I don't know what all this legal term means. I don't. For charges covered by in first session of district court held in this county, 12/12. I don't. Jail. So if the guy that stabbed him is in jail and he's going to jail, are they going to be in jail together? Your release is not authorized. It says it right there. Your release is not authorized. Assault, bodily injury. There he is right there. There is our second stabbing victim. Let's go back to release order issued, release order modified. So it was issued. Let me see if this is the same paperwork, because sometimes they'll put the same paperwork on this website. Yeah, it's the same paperwork. Assault, bodily injury, modification. I don't see anything different from what was shown. Your release is not authorized. Statutory limits, no bond set. So yeah, he's going to jail when he gets released from Mecklenburg County Courthouse. Let me see if this is any different. They have a few of the same paperwork. I'm trying to see if there was any new information different. No. Yeah, I don't see anything different from from what was previously shown. I don't see anything different. Conditions of release and release order. It's not a no. You're not going to be released. So when you get released from the hospital, you are going to be in custody of Charlotte Mecklenburg system, state of North Carolina versus him. Let me see if there was anything else from the search, because no, I think that was it. Or did I click on the wrong one? Hold on, y'all. Oh, this is what was on the article. Okay, so let me share this. Let me share this. Assault on a pregnant woman. Let me see if it's the same young lady from the child support. Assault on a pregnant woman, assault on a female, misdemeanor crime, domestic violence, communicating threats. 12/10, 12/10, 12/10. Yep, the same date, 12/10. Communicating threats. I don't think they have the victim's name. Complainant. No. Affidavit. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see if this is anything different, because they'll put like the affidavit, which it'll state like what happened during the incident. Woo! Let's share this. Our stabbing victim has been a busy man. Oh, let's minimize this a little bit. Communicating threats. 3 counts of communicating threats. Assault on a pregnant woman. P. Hohenstein. I don't know anybody with that last name. Kristen Bow, bitch. These names. What the fuck? Yep, that's him. That's our stabbing victim. He's only 24 years old. Jesus. Okay, up down here, assault on a pregnant woman. On or about the date of the offense shown in the county named above, the defendant unlawfully and willfully did assault and strike Rashada Jones, a pregnant woman, by punching in the face with a closed fist. Damn. The defendant is a male person, at least 18 years of age, when the assault and striking occurred. So this was 10/19. Insurance warrant for the arrest. Oh, wow. With a closed fist. There is more down at the bottom here. The communicating threats. Shanna Jones verbally communicated that he was going to kill BJ, I don't know. And the threat was made in a manner under circumstances which would cause reasonable person to believe that their threat was likely to be carried out. And the person threatened believed that the threat would be carried out. Okay. What is this? Communicating threats. How many people did he threaten? The threat was communicated to Rashada Jones by verbally communicating was going to kill H. Lucas, and the threat was made. So H. Lucas, is that another? Oh, okay. Oh, so it's different counts, because he threatened to kill her. He threatened to kill H. Lucas. He threatened to kill her and her children. Okay, so yeah, her and her kids, including the one that hasn't been born yet. Yep. Yep. So this is the affidavit about the incident. So this is what was put in the article, and I saw it. I was like, hitting a pregnant woman? I was like, what? Now, let's go back, because like I said, anybody can access the links train. Anybody with a criminal record, anybody that's been deported. I don't know how that the suspect was deported twice and he made his way back. Was he back into the country? So he's not even legal? And then he assaults and stabs one person who assaults and punches pregnant women. Like, the drama that's going on in this city is like ridiculous. So let pray for Charlotte. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, I don't even know, girl. Ooh. We'll be back with updates. I'll be back with updates on this stuff, especially with the squatter incident, the squatter court case. Yeah. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you stayed through the whole live stream, thanks for sticking it out with me. I don't usually do live streams by myself, but I think I should start a little bit more, of course, to get my viewers up and stuff like that, and just talk about what's going on, my wretched ass city in this wretched ass country. Damn. But I'm going to bed. Y'all have a blessed night, and I will see y'all next time if I can get my stuff up. All right, good night, y'all.
Three, two, one.
It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Mr. Kisser Lover, do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the time when we first met? Do you remember the time? Do you remember the time? Till I tick-tock, it don't stop until I wanna sex you up. Tick-tock, it don't stop. Tick-tock, it don't stop. So good.